Well, good evening. Good evening. Happy Thursday. I'm Sheryl with Elegant Sentiments, and welcome to Elegant Sentiments today. This is our weekly card share number 107. And I've got my Lisa Horton inks, of course, and some Pinkfresh Studio products that I'm going to be working with today. So for my ink colors, I have three of the Pick by Paula matte blending inks. I've got Agnes Grey, Georgia Moss, and Gauguin Grapefruit. And then from the regular matte blending inks, I have Early Sunrise and Woodland Moss. And oh, if you are looking to get some of Lisa's matte blending inks, Spellbinders has them on sale, a great price. And if you are a Spellbinders Club member, you get discount on top of that. So check them out. They have all three releases of her matte blending inks marked down. So now's a good time to stock up on them if you're looking to get them. And so for Pinkfresh Studio, I've got the, what is this called? Hello, Happy For You. This is the Happy For You stamp set. And all these floral images are on one piece. And then they've got some really nice fonts to go along with it. Happy For You, thanks for all you do, smiles all around. You are strong. You can do anything you put your mind to, high fives and hugs, and your friendship is a blessing. So there's some great sentiments there. I actually used a sentiment that I already have. I didn't use one of these sentiments, but they are really, really nice sentiments. So that is the Happy For You stamp set. And it has a coordinating stencil set that I'm going to be using as well. And then there are dies to coordinate with them all. So the die will cut out the florals all in one piece, and then each of the sentiments, except for, I think these, well, I don't know, I need to look. I think actually all of those sentiments are in there, but I know for sure the big ones with the scripted font are in there. And those are the Pinkfresh stamp, stencil, and die. And then I have the cover plate die called Dotted Lace. So this is one, I like the octagon shape, so I'm going to be mimicking that using my nested octagon fundamental dies from Lisa Horton Crafts. So those are all of the products that I'm using this evening. And I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to start. I did go ahead and I heat embossed in gold that single stamp. I just inked it with Versamark and then used Wow Gold embossing powder to set that. And so I'm going to ink blend this. Let me bring in my Ultimate 2. And I'll grab my stencils and get busy doing some ink blending to create our card. And here are my stencils. Oh, I'll get the stencils out and then I'll show you the card. I hope you're having a good Thursday. It looks like I'm crafting alone this evening, but hopefully you'll watch the replay. And if you do, please give me a thumbs up and let me know what you think about the video. Or if it's not a thumbs up and you want to leave me some feedback on how to improve, I welcome that as well. So this is the card that I made and that I'll be making during this live. So that's that. I'm going to just lay that over here out of the way. Okay, so I've got my stamp that's already been Actually, I could probably use my tacky mat for this since it doesn't, this isn't a Lisa Horton stamp set, but I want to get this lined up just right. So I'm gonna hold it up so that I can see it. I do apologize. I just want to make sure I get this lined up properly. And that looks, oh, well, nope. I'm trying to make sure all the flowers are properly lined up. So I should just be seeing the gold in all of them. And there we go. I think that's going to do it. And I'm going to use some regular low-tack tape to take this down, because my paper obviously is quite a bit larger than my my stencil. And these are the Pinkfresh Studio Happy For You stencils. And I'm going to start with, let's see, I think I did this so long ago, I really don't even remember how I inked this up. So I'm going to do, I think I'll start with the Gauguin Grapefruit and go with the lighter color there. And I'm going to put just a light dusting of that color onto these larger flowers. And I'm going to, on this big flower here, I'm going to try to avoid that center for now, because I want to make it, I want to have that be more of a gray tone in the center. So as I put this color down, I'm going to avoid the center and just come in from the outside with a nice coating of this Gauguin Grapefruit, and keeping it still pretty light. And do the same thing on these flowers. Really easy to ink this one up. Add a little bit more color on this one. I just want to make sure I'm getting all the areas inked that need to be inked. So I'm going both ways, both directions, since this is already stenciled. I love this set. It's so it's just cheery, I think. And so with it being spring is mostly here, we're getting some cold and some hot, the usual central Ohio weather right now, but spring is pretty close to being here. So I'm going to let that be it for this Gauguin Grapefruit on this layer, and then I'm going to use the Georgia Moss on the little baby flowers, and then I'll do some Agnes Grey for the centers. So I'm just really just inking those up, because I'll add a little early sunrise to them later in one of the later stencils. I don't remember how many stencils there are on this one. I'm thinking 5, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, so that's it for stencil number 1, and then we're off to stencil number 2. And this was what I was concerned about. I'm going to move this stencil just a little bit here so that I can pick up, let's see, I don't want to get too crazy, but I do want to pick up this grapefruit just a little bit better than I did originally, and see if we can fill in some of these gaps. Well, it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay, but I didn't want too much white showing. So, okay. So there we go, I think. Yeah, that's much better. All right, and so we'll go on to stencil number 2. And this one is going to put the some of the flower centers and a little more highlight of color every place else. And so, oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me go back and grab these flower centers from that first stencil, because I got to get it lined up again. And I'm more worried. Actually, I didn't even need it, to be honest, because I'm going to use this little guy and just go in here with the Agnes Grey. And same for here. Okay, and then I can actually, if I get a fine brush for my grapefruit, I can add a little more grapefruit around the outside here. I'll do that. I don't think I do this on my original, but it makes sense to me right now, so that's what I'm going to do. And I might not like it, but that's my thinking anyway. I'm going to just come in there like this all the way around, keeping the gray. Okay, so that is it for stencil number 1. And back to stencil number 2 now. And we'll grab the flower center, and then we'll add some accent color to the other flowers. So I'll start with the gray. What did I do with my little gray brush? There it is. And just add that right into the center of this flower. And I'll go over all this inking with a cloth later. Okay, so that can be closed up. And then we'll bring on the early sunrise. And I'm going to add just a layer of that, and trying to avoid the center of this big flower. And just coming in this way into the center, but not covering up the center. We'll do that one all the way around. And then we'll add the accents on this flower with the early sunrise. Okay, that's it for stencil number 2. And for stencil number 3, we're going to come back in and add even more accent. And I think with this one, what I might do is I'll grab, let's see, which one? I want to say, I want to get another reddy color. How about rhubarb jam? Let's add a teeny bit of that in. It's a little different, but let's see how we like it. We may like it and we may not, but that's okay. So I'm going to try and make sure I get this lined up correctly on this big flower. And then I think, you know what, I don't know if I've positioned something wrong or what, but these aren't really there. That looks, when I get it where I think it needs to be on the bigger flower at the top, I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to take that down so that it doesn't move. And then I'm going to add, this rhubarb jam. I'm just thinking I want a third color. I could just go with a darken what's there, but I really think I want to do that third color. So let me find a red brush. Let's see, here we go. And bring in our rhubarb jam and add that in for some variation in our coloring. And we can go all the way down. On most of these, we'll leave a few of them that are not all the way down to the bottom. And then we'll do the same over here. We'll just add this accent on these little pieces. Get a little bit of that rhubarb around the edge. And then for the others, I will use the early sunrise. And oops, put that in the grapefruit, but I'm going to use the early sunrise on the base of these little flowers. Now we'll see how this is definitely different from what I did on my sample. And then I'm going to stick with the Agnes Grey for the center, I think. Keep that the same. And do the center on here. And I've been really good at that these last couple months, dipping into the wrong ink. I want to do Agnes Grey, but I really kind of like that mix with the early sunrise. So let me go over it with a little bit of gray. And so it'll give us a different little tone there. Okay, so that's going to be it for this stencil. And I think we start in with the leaves. Yeah, that's it. It makes it a little darker adding that rhubarb, but I think I like it. We'll find out once we get everything inked up what we think. So let me cover up these inks before I go any further, because I don't think we have any more florals to do. I think all the rest are leaves, if I remember correctly. Yep, they're all leaves. So, and I'm using all Woodland Moss for my leaves. I didn't use two tones on there. So get all these inks covered up. And we'll bring out the Woodland Moss and get our stencil lined up here. And these leaves are really very easy to do. And so let me get my brush, and then we'll just go in all around. I may go back around and get the base, add a little more color just to have a little bit of variation, but we'll be adding some variation just with the stencils themselves, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I can't remember. I can barely remember what I had for breakfast on any given day, so I certainly can't remember what I did last week when I made this card. But anyway, we will just make something and see how we like it. And if we don't like it, we can redo it for another day. I love stenciling. It's so much fun. And this stencil, yep, I think that's right. And maybe I'll go in with maybe I'll bring out eucalyptus leaves for this one, just to give two colors on these leaves too. I'm thinking that's what I might do. So we'll see here when it's time to add that next layer. Actually, I'm gonna do it. I think I'll do it now. Let me grab eucalyptus leaves. I've got that somewhere over here. It's maybe garden sage. Yeah, let's try that. It's a little bit deeper green. And so I think I'll do that. Just come in at the base with the garden sage. And maybe I'll do some of the accents with the garden sage also, just to give a teeny bit of variation on some of these. I felt my stencil move just then. I hope I didn't. Oh, there we go. We got to get back on. It's way off. Okay. Such a beautiful Thursday evening here. It's sunny and it's warm. And I'm loving it. I am here for that. Okay, so that is going to be it for this stencil. And yeah, I do like that. Okay, and then we'll work on some accents in this last little set of leaves here. Once I get this lined up, I think I'm going to take this only because I had so much movement on that last stencil. I'm going to take this because I don't want too much movement going on there. And I think I got that right. Okay, so we'll do kind of the same coloring on here. Go through and with the woodland moss and color everything and accent here and there with the garden sage. So I think we're going to go with the woodland moss a bit more, and then I will come back with that garden sage on these. Just around the base. Just a wee bit. And then these accents I will do all in Garden Sage. Okay, that takes care of stencil number, what stencil are we on? I've lost count. This is, I was right, this is stencil number 5. I was thinking 5 in my head, but there we go. And then we got one last stencil to do some accents onto these flowers. Leaves, not flowers. I think that looks pretty good, and we'll go with Garden Sage again. That is not all the way where it needs to be. Here we go. Okay. We'll go with Garden Sage again. And I'm really just kind of using the ink that's left on the brush for these. Add a little bit more. Okay, and that's it for stencil number 6, and that's the last of the stenciling. So I can put all my brushes away. And close up my inks and move them out of the way. And get ready for the next part. Okay, so there's our little inked up panel. Try and get it so you can see it's, well, that's kind of a pretty decent look. You can see the foiling there. And next I'm going to the large die for this, and I'm going to die cut these. And again, these this die is all one piece, which is really nice, and it'll cut all of the pieces at one time. And let's look at these sentiments. So yes, I was right. So on the stamp set, all of the scripted, the larger sentiments, which are here, you are strong, congrats, happy for you, and thanks for all you do. There are dies to cut those out. And then the smaller ones, those don't have dies with this set. And then this piece is all one piece. And so we'll use that to die cut our florals. Since I'm not using the sentiments from this set, I just went into my stash for my sentiments for this. And we'll just get this lined up. This is one that has the white outside rim. Then a lot of the newer ones that Pinkfresh is doing, they still have both, but they have a lot that have no that they don't have that white rim. They cut right up to the corner, right up to the inking, which I like that as well. But I like these two, so I can't say that I'm a fan of one over the other. I just give me a flower and I'm happy. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it into my Platinum 6 with the regular die cutting sandwich. And I'll run that through and it'll give us all 4 of our die cuts for our little floral bouquet. And then I'm going to die cut a little pot, for lack of a better word, just a little shape, octagon shape to mimic the, so there's our 4 pieces. And we will, so those are we're going to use for our card front. And then I'm going to take, I've got a piece of matte gold cardstock from Spellbinders, and I've got the nested octagons from Lisa Horton Crafts, and I'm going to use, I think I used this one. Let me look at my sample. I think this is about the size that I want. Yeah. Actually, I think I used a larger one. I used a larger one. Let me see. Doesn't have to be the exact same, but why not? I know this will work. So I'm going to use the larger one, and I just want, I don't want the whole thing, so this will work. I'm just going to use the other piece of cardstock that I had used for my sample, and I'll die cut this this piece. Do I want it that? I don't think I even want it that deep. I might want it a little more shallow. And I'll just die cut this real quick, and we should be ready to assemble it onto our card front. So here's that little piece that I'm making, kind of like a little flower pot. So I have here, I took an extra die cut piece, and this will go on the inside of the card. And then from the dotted, I think this is called dotted lattice. I die cut this twice from this cover plate die from Pinkfresh, and then I glue the two together. And so I'll just put this onto my card front with glue. Let me get these out of the way. Okay, I'll put this on, get my glue going here. Don't need that right now. I think I'll get my glue going. There it is. I don't need every place to be glued, but I just want to randomly go around and make sure I don't have any big areas that don't have glue on them, and then go all around the perimeter of this as I'm gluing it down. Try not to put too much glue because I don't want too much oozing going on this pretty little lattice. Going all the way. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Pick this up, and I'm gonna be careful because I don't want to do too much wiggling around because there's glue everywhere. So try and get it lined up with my card base. before I put it down. I think that's pretty good. And hold it for just a few seconds. Actually, I'll use my magnets to hold this down. And I'm going to put some foam adhesive on the back of my flower pot, coming towards the end of this roll. And I'm gonna leave a little bit of space at the top just so I can add more flower if I need it for tucking. I don't really do a lot of tucking because of how these are made, so I think right there is going to be good enough, and then I'll trim off the little pieces that hang over. And this little part. Okay, and then I'll put a little part on the bottom. Let's see. That ought to work for here. And I think that's good. I could use those other two little pieces, except I flicked them off onto the floor. So we're just going to let that be it for our card front. And then I'm just going to put this down kind of not all the way to the bottom, but just a little ways up from the bottom, but in the center. I'll put my little flower pot down. Let's see here. That looks about right, because we're trying to mimic the octagon shape that's on our lattice. And then we're gonna do some tucking and sticking here. Let's see. I know I want this one to go here, and this one, or maybe no, maybe we'll do like, I want to stick that down. Yeah, maybe like that on this one. And I got a couple of little chads that didn't pop out, so I want to make sure I get those popped out. In my flower. Yeah, so those are out. There's all those, there's only one on that one, it's out. So I want that maybe like that, I think. And then we can stick this one behind. I want it to actually go down underneath, yeah, like that. And then I'm going to, now here, I need to get my sentiment, because this sentiment is a little larger than the one that I did my sample. So I'm going to put that like that. And so this, I'm probably going to nip off a little bit of these leaves. I'm going to nip it right there and see if that gives me what I want. I think, yeah, that'll work. And then I'll put my sentiment just on there like so. So I think that's going to be the placement I'm going to go with. And then I can start gluing. I'm going to start with this one first and get it down. And then I'll add foam to the back as I need to, if I need to. This piece might need some. Let's see, I want to make sure I'm putting it on the right. This piece is going to need some glue. and across here. Okay, so stick this kind of like that. Want to make sure we're still on our card front. Okay, and then I might take a couple of foam squares and add them in a minute here. And then let's go ahead and do this guy. Just kind of put it over. And if you wanted, you could use foam squares for this one, but I think there's enough contrast between the flowers that I don't really have to worry about that too much. So we won't worry with it. We'll get this glued up. And let me make sure and get my sentiment down. Okay, go there. And then I'll do this one, and then I'll come back in after I get the leaf down and add foam squares or pieces of foam where I need them. It's just easier for me. Some people like to put the foam squares on first, but it's always been easier for me to just, there we go. And push that all the way down underneath there. Okay, and then this, now I think I'm going to put this way, and then so I'll do just a wee bit of glue on this. I don't want the whole leaf sticking down, I don't think, because my sentiment will hold some of that in place. So I just want that kind of up in there like so. And then I might even use foam strips for my sentiment. Let me see. I've got some little, this isn't as thick as my, as what I used for my pot. So this probably will work nicely to pop up that sentiment just a wee bit. And I want to make sure that goes on straight. Okay. And then the only thing we need to do, we need to add some little foam pieces behind these flowers. So this piece, actually, I'll cut this in half. This will probably work just fine underneath here. Let me see. Yep, this will work fine under there. So I'll take this and just tuck that, if I can get it off my finger, under there. And then we'll add another piece under these two. I think this is small enough that it'll go under there just fine. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Okay. And I might do a little small strip over here under these big leaves. I think I'll trim this little piece in half, and that ought to be enough to go under this leaf here. I think, let's see. Try it. Yep, that works just fine. There we go. Okay, so we have everything all set. And then the last thing I want to do is add a few little embellishments before I do the inside of the card. Well, actually, let me go ahead and put the inside in. My little note card. Oh, I lost the top to my glue somewhere. Okay, I'll find it. Just use tape runner then. And I'll put this on my inside, and then I'll add my gems. There. Okay. Then we'll open up our card. There we go. And then put our little little panel in. It's cut just smaller than the card base. And I'll burnish those edges down. And that's our inside. And then I've got, these are Ombre glitter drops from Pinkfresh Studio. And I'm going to add a few of these onto my card front. So most of them are going to be on the pot. And let's see, I'm going to play with them before I glue them, I think. So, oh, good. Here's one. And I'll do another one here. And maybe a little baby one there. Yeah, I think that's all I need. So we're going to go with that. And this is another one, if you don't like so much white, you can always brush some color around the perimeter with a 1-inch blending. You can blend some color onto that part of the card. But I like the white. I think it lets the gold kind of pop. And I don't know where my pen escaped to, but I don't see it. Okay. And let me get these put away. And we can call this one done. Thank you for watching the replay. I really appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you like this design. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. It helps me to, I'm trying to get, help more people find me. So anything you would be willing to do to like and share, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to later this evening post to my blog at elegantsentiments.com, and then I will be back. I'll put something this weekend on my Facebook page, which is Elegant Sentiments Limited. So I hope that you'll look for me in all the places and like and subscribe everywhere. And I will be back again next Thursday evening with another card to share. And I hope that you'll join me. I do thank you again so much for being here. And appreciate you. I hope that you have some time to craft a little kindness of your own this week. And let me give you a closer look at today's card. This light is really bright. I'm going to have to do something about my lighting. But that is today's card. Have a great week, everybody. And see you next time. Bye for now.